Alrighty, in this video, I am just going to go over the first page, and so this is going to be the first part of the test review. So let's go ahead and take a look at number one. It says, in the figure, triangle RST is congruent to triangle XYZ. So remember we talked about CPCTC, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So if I look at this congruency statement here, well, we need to take a look or take note of the positioning of our letters or vertices or whatever, or angles, right? So like if I said angle R, what's corresponding or congruent to angle R? Well, you're going to say angle X. S, Y, and angle T is congruent to angle Z, right? So taking a look at number one, it says segment RS is congruent to some sort of blank. So the first two letter is R and S. Well, if I take a look at the other triangle, well, the first two letters are X and Y. So I will write RS is congruent to X, Y with the bar above it. Okay. Number two, taking a look at angle T. T is in the third position, so I need to look at the other triangle. What letter is the third position? And that is Z. So angle Z. Okay. So I didn't even need to look at this figure. All I needed to do was look at my congruent statement. Now, here for 3 and 4, I kind of do need to look at the figures because it has my expressions and stuff, so I can set up my equations. It says find X, right? So taking a look at this, at the triangles here, I need to figure out which segments or angles contain the variable that I want, because I'm looking for X. Here's X, and it's associated to the segment over here, RT, right? So RT, I need to compare that to XZ because R and T, that's the first and the third letter. Looking at the other triangle, I need to look at the first and the third letter, so XZ. So I will write X plus 21, which is equal to XZ, which is equal to 2X minus 14. And then if I, do the math, I am going to get 35, which is equal to X. So X is equal to 35. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my Y expressions. Notice that Y is right here, and it's associated to this R. Okay, so R is in the first position. I need to figure out, okay, what is in the first position of the other triangle, which is X, right? And that does have the variable that I want to, and they are both congruent, therefore I need to set them equal to each other. So I have 4Y minus 10, which is equal to 3Y plus 15. Now, if I add both sides by 10, I will get 4Y equals 3Y plus 25, and if I subtract both sides by 3y, I'm left with y equals, wait, am I making a mistake here? I'm left with y equals 25. Right? Am I making a mistake? Hold up. 4y minus 10 equals 3y. Oh, so I put a 5 here, not 15. Okay, let's try that again. So if I add both sides by 10, I'm left with 4y equals 3y plus 15. Then if I subtract both sides by 3y, I'm left with y equals 15. Okay, so this is 15. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this one. It's the same idea as before. Triangle RST is congruent to triangle ABC. ST is the last two, so looking at the other one, BC is the last two, so I'll put BC with a bar above it. And then I need to look at angle S. Angle S is in the second position, so angle B is congruent to angle S. Okay? Got to go ahead and find X and go ahead and find Y. Here's X. It's part of this angle, angle S. So angle S is in the second position. Looking at angle B is right here. So let's set them equal to each other. 5x plus 20, which is equal to 3x plus 40. If I subtract the 3x on both sides and the 20 on both sides, I'm going to be left with 2x is equal to 20. Then I divide both sides by 2, so x is equal to 10. Okay, so now I need to go ahead and find y. Y is st, so the last two, st and bc, they are congruent, so I can do 2y minus 8, which is equal to y plus 13. If I add both sides and I subtract both sides by y, I'm left with y equals 21. Okay, so that's how you do that. You should definitely use these congruent statements to your advantage. Okay? Determine which reason can be used to prove each pair of triangles congruent. If it's not possible, we're going to go ahead and write NP. So the reasons that we can use are side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, and angle, side, angle. Okay? So let's take a look at number 9. Well, I noticed that we have two triangles here. One triangle there and another triangle there. So, what these two triangles share is a side. So if I have one tick mark here and there, then I need two tick marks there. Okay? So, taking a look at that, okay, I have one angle here and one angle there. They are congruent, so I can write an angle. And I have one tick mark here and one tick mark there. I can write a side. And they both share a side here, so I can write S. Okay? So, let's take a look. I have an angle, side, and it's not in order. Okay? So, it doesn't meet or have one of these. So, I can write NP. Let's take a look at number 10. Notice that we have two lines that are parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the lines. And then here's my transversal. Okay. So because I have two lines that are parallel cut by a transversal, of course I'm going to have alternate interior angles. So just because we have one arc here, that means we're going to be using two arcs. So here and here, those are congruent because of the alternate interior angles. And notice that because we have my transversal, or we have that these two triangles share a side right here, that means we need to put two tick marks there. No, I'm just kidding. We need to put one tick mark there. Hello. Okay. So I have one arc here and one arc there. I can go ahead and label angle, angle. I have two arcs here and two arcs there, and they're congruent, so I can write angle. And then lastly, they share a side, so I can put side. Okay, so I'm going to read it. Angle, angle, and side. And over here, angle, angle, then side. So these two triangles are congruent because of the AAS postulate. Okay. Number 11, and it has some words. I got two triangles here, and C is the midpoint at AE. So here is C, that's the midpoint. It's only affecting AE, is not doing anything to DB, okay? So pay attention to that. So C is the midpoint of AE, meaning that here's my whole segment. It's going to split the two segments into two congruent parts. So I will put one tick mark there and one tick mark there. Okay, and then notice over here we have vertical angles. So one arc here and one arc there. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two triangles. I have one congruent mark there and one congruent mark there. One box there, one box there. So I will write angle and angle. And then I have a side here and a side here. So I'll write SS. And then they both share an angle, therefore they're congruent. So I will write, sorry, let me put an S here. So I put an A here and then an A here. So what do I have? I have angle, side, angle, and an angle, side, angle. Congruent by angle, side, angle. Okay. Let's take a look at number 12. Number 12, I notice that this is congruent to that, and then this is congruent to that. But these two triangles here, they share a side. So I'll put two arcs there. Okay, so this is number 12. So I have one tick mark here and one tick mark there, so they are congruent. So let's write a side. I have 2 arcs here and 2 arcs there. I don't know why we don't have 1 arc there, but it's whatever, right? So we can say that that's an angle and that's an angle. And then notice that they share a side, so we'll write S and S, okay? So we have a side, angle, side, right? Side, angle, side. The angle is between the 2 sides here, right? And that's the same deal with wait, hold up, what did I do wrong? Angle, side, side. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, no. It's side. It's kind of weird. It's side, angle, and then side. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Yeah, side, angle, side. Yeah, you have to read it. Sometimes when you're reading this, it can be, it's not what you're used to, but just pay attention. The angle is between the 2 sides here. If you see it, side, angle, and then side. So this is congruent because of side, angle, side. All right, number 13, I can obviously say this is NP because look at the fact that we have 1 triangle here and 1 triangle there. We have 1 tick mark and 2 tick marks, and we're supposed to be comparing 2 triangles. We're not trying to compare the length or the length of just one particular triangle, right? This is only congruent to itself, or sorry, this and this, they're congruent, but we're talking about 1 triangle here. In order to say that, in order to say any of these, we're comparing 2 triangles, not necessarily 1, if you know what I mean. So I have 1 tick mark here and 2 tick marks here. I don't write a side there because they have different tick marks, so I'm going to put NP. Number 14, they share a side. So I have a side here, a side here, a side there, and they both share this side reflexive property. So what do I have? I have side, side, I'm sorry, I have side, side, side for this one triangle, and then I have side, side, side of this particular triangle. So that's congruent, or these 2 triangles are congruent because of the side, side, side.